Good morning, sweet star, and welcome to this morning messages. We are going to jump right in. Oh my gosh. We're going to jump right in with our very first card of intuition. That makes a lot of sense because right here, right now, I hadn't done a reading for this Moon Mirror Tarot channel. It's been a couple months, I think, at this point. And it was like I couldn't not do this. And this is different than the format that I had before. I needed to pull some cards, mostly for myself, but recording it and putting it here for you to be able to watch as well felt like something that I really needed to do. And that is the first message right out of the gate is trust that feeling of what do you feel like you need to do? What do you feel like you need to do? And the main thing that's coming through with that is don't don't make it make sense. Don't need it to show you like what benefit, what prize are you going to get for doing the thing that you feel inspired to do that your intuition is telling you. It's like, prove it to me and then I'll go. No, 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 no. Do the thing. Let's see what this one is also. Forgiveness. Interesting. That is actually very interesting. Yesterday, I had a very, very good feeling conversation with somebody that I've had a lot of tension with over the last couple years. And yesterday, or I was actually writing in my journal afterwards, like, if I didn't know us and our history, I would think we have a totally functional relationship, So, wow, that's great. And so, is there room for forgiveness inside of whatever grievances might still be inside of you? And the thing that I'll share about the experience with this person is, they're the same as they've ever been, and I would say that I have grown into a person who is okay with us not agreeing on every little thing. So a lot of the things that, I felt like I needed to forgive him for, he's still that person, And I think a lot of times too, just like wanting our intuition to prove itself, it's like when they've shown me that they've changed, then I'll forgive them. No, no, doesn't work like that. If you can forgive them and possibly let yourself off the hook for not having to carry that grievance anymore, that's when really the world can open up and bring you something that you never thought possible. And that may include that person changing their behavior, but it just as easily might not. And at that point where you've let go of needing them to be a certain way, you really don't care how they are. And at that point, forgiveness and loving them unconditionally gets a lot easier. Let's see what this one is. Failure. How fascinating. Oh man, isn't that exactly why we don't listen to our intuition? That's what came through for me anyway, is like I'm pretty positive that's the main reason that we don't listen when our intuition tells us something is like, I don't have enough proof. I don't know that it's going to work out. Are you sure that'll be successful? And what I really want to say more than anything else is, what is failure? What does it even mean? What does it even mean to fail? I saw this quote the other day that said, either the experience was good and that's successful, or the experience was bad and that's a lesson learned. So, in that equation, what is failure? There's this other piece that wants to come through here too that has to do with expectation. And again, this is exactly why we don't listen to our intuition, is because it may not look exactly like what we expected. For example, I thought I was going to wake up this morning and dive right into what I needed to do today. And I'm not. I'm doing this instead because I felt like I needed to. I felt like I needed to. And does that delay what it is that I need to get done and potentially, open up this space where maybe I get it wrong or I don't get done what I need to get done? And it's like, how do you even know that that would spell failure? Like I see it play out a lot in my life where, for example, the thing that I'm needing to get done that I thought I would be working on right now, like I've seen where that kind of project, like it'll get delayed. And then because I'm doing something like this, like I'm, off on some tangent or sidetracked or whatever, and in my delay, something else comes in and clicks into place that elevates and levels up what it is that I thought I was going to do this morning. Basically timing, divine timing. Like if you subscribe to divine timing even a little bit, failure's not real. It literally doesn't exist. It's either what's meant to happen in this moment or what is not meant to happen in this moment, and none of it is good or bad. It just is. So, this concept of failure and this concept of getting it wrong is, I think, one of the biggest blockers from following our intuition because we don't want to mess it up. And I totally get that. I feel that. And then this last card here, expect the unexpected. I drew this the other day. I was like, ooh, can't wait for that. Expect the unexpected. Just like when you follow your intuition, the whole point is that you really don't have the whole entire map. You have this next step. Like even sitting down here this morning, I didn't know what we're going to talk about. I just knew I need to pull some cards. And based on those cards that I pull, we are going to string together a message that, again, mostly I need to hear, but that this has value for others. So let's press record. Let's put it in a space where others can find it. Expect the unexpected, especially the more you follow your intuition, the less you're able to see what is coming next. Like following our intuition, in my experience at least, is a very in the body, in the present moment experience that it's like you can navigate in this moment for this moment. In this moment, what is true, what is right for me? That's the question that intuition can answer. And so a lot of us, we ignore that right here, right now direction of like, here, turn left, here, turn right. Like it's just giving you the one step at a time. And instead of following that, it's like, well, why? Why should I turn left? Tell me why, and then I will. And our intuition can't, because until we turn left and we get into that next moment, then we can know the next step from there. And then once we take that step, then we can know the next step from there. And so needing the proof, needing to know what to expect. I love how expectation had already come up in all of this, and then expect the unexpected. Like, yeah, throw your expectation right out the window. That's really the best thing we can do. Let's introduce these next cards, mindful messages, and let's take one for, oh my, well, there you go. There's that one. There's that one. Oh, there's that one. My God, that one has 3. We're going to put that up there and come back to it. And actually, that one is the one for there. So let's see what we have here. Let's start with this one that turned itself over. Return to the body. How perfect is that for what we were just talking about? When I am caught up in a stressful moment, I can move my awareness to my body. Is my jaw clenched? My body tense? How is my posture? This helps me to see where I can relax and let go of tension. Now I can return to any situation more calm and present. That is absolutely beautiful. And I feel like that is such a nice addition onto the conversation about failure not being real. It's like, really, when you tune into reality, all that there is the present moment. All that there is right here, right now. and what you're doing in this moment. And so, this advice of return to the body. Failure's not real. Success isn't real. Return to the body. Is your jaw clenched? Is your butthole clenched? Are your shoulders up at your ears? Are you in your body? And I was always one that was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, I'm always in my body. No. A lot of times we're in our heads, or even further away from ourselves, we're projected out into other people's lives, right? Like watching The Real Housewives of New Jersey. No shade if you do. But shows like that, or tabloid magazines, or YouTube tea channels, like there's all kinds of ways where we can literally leave our own life and project ourselves into someone else's life. And at that point, I would say that's maybe the closest thing that there is to failure, is to not being in your body in the present moment. Because at that point, you have no power. You have access to no power, no resources. And the longer you stay outside your body, the more disempowered you become. So return to the body. I absolutely love that. Let's start back over here. Ooh, expressing love. Today I notice the things I appreciate about the people in my life. I take a moment to send them love and to wish them well. My love is infinite and it feels great to express it. And this feels like, to go with our intuition card, it feels like my spiritual support team, like my angels, my ancestors, all of that, expressing their love to me by even having me press record for this card pull. I've been pulling cards lately, but haven't recorded anything. And getting to express this love, like normally when I pull cards, I just like think about it in my head and kind of read the book a little bit if I want to, or just look at it and feel into it. And it all is a very internal process. But being able to explain and gush and love you guys and put this message here in a space where this love can find its way out into the world, they knew I would love it. My intuition was like, hey, press record. Like, we're not going to tell you why. We're not going to like give you a whole like business plan about why you should press record, but you should. You totally should. And I know that that's what my intuition wanted me to do, because I even have like a full, check this out, I have a full cup of coffee that I just made, and I'm not even drinking it because I couldn't not do this. This is what I felt like I needed to do. And so I love that, yeah, at the end of the day, our intuition is leading us step by step by step by step into what we want most. And they're absolutely right that expressing love is one of my favorite things. So thank you, spiritual support, for this reading. Morning ritual. And to go with forgiveness, how interesting. In the mornings, I will take time to tune in to myself, to set high vibrational rituals that will help me lead a good day. I pay attention to the morning habits that don't serve me and change them for ones that do. Interesting. I'm getting something completely different here on forgiveness, but I am going to pause and come right back. My intuition was telling me you need to pause and you need to delete some files off your computer because your computer storage is almost full. And I just paused and I looked at it and it was like in the red. My storage was almost full. Intuition, man, if you don't need it to explain itself, it can give you turn by turn directions, moment to moment to moment to moment. Beautiful. So where were we? Morning ritual. They gave me something on forgiveness. Ah, yes, self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness. I have another channel called Owning Authenticity where I have a whole series about morning time. I'm going to link it in the description box, because it's been almost 7 years ago that I started doing a morning ritual with myself, doing daily self-care, and I'm naturally a morning person, so the morning makes most sense to me. But when I talk to people about self-care and about kind of starting from where you are to get your cup full and then kind of how to keep it full so that you can live a life where you're basically generating an overflow in your cup every day and giving away the excess rather than operating on empty, running on fumes, putting in a little bit of gas here and there, like just barely, just so you don't run completely out. And then every once in a while, completely running out and burning yourself out, overextending, overgiving, on and on and on. So, what I hear back a lot from people is that they're basically mad at themselves that they didn't figure it out sooner. And so that is the dynamic that's coming here as far as like I see this as like kind of your higher self and this is your ego self, your human self, and just wanting to wrap like your higher self just wanting to wrap you in a hug where you know that nothing has gone wrong. Absolutely nothing has gone wrong. Like, let's say you're 85 years old and you've never done a morning ritual, you've never taken good care of yourself. I personally still think it's possible to learn a new habit, learn a new relationship with yourself where you do put yourself in that position every morning to take good care, tune into yourself, set yourself up on the trajectory for the day that you wish to be on. And then we can't control what happens in life, but we can control how we start walking into the day. We absolutely can control that. And so to kind of forgive ourselves for any time that came before when we weren't in that position, when we weren't making the choice to take really good care of ourselves every morning, we made the best choice we could given the tools and the knowledge that we had at that time. And to let yourself off the hook for what came before. It's okay. It's really okay. Again, all there really is right here, right now. There was no failure. There's only divine timing and ending up in the destination you were always meant to be in the time you were always meant to land there. So even if you're only just getting started with taking really good care of yourself, that's okay. That's okay. And if you fall off the wagon, if you go, like I have a video specifically on that morning time playlist that talks about stutter starts in self-care, where, before the 7-year streak that I got going on now, there was like 3 or 4 years of stutter starts, meaning that I would do really good. I would take daily care of myself, like exercise, eat well, spend time just in my own quiet, spend time journaling, like whatever I wanted to do. I would do really well for like 3 or 4 weeks, maybe. And then I would feel so good that like I'd be like, oh man, I don't need to take my medicine anymore. And so then I'd stop taking really good care of myself and go back to my old ways of kind of putting everybody else first. Because I'm good. I'm taken care of. I'm energetic. I feel great. Well, I felt great because I was taking great care of myself. And when I stopped, I would crash again. And that would lead to another 6-month depression or whatever the hell it was. So that stutter start process of kind of working up to being in a place where you do take consistently good care of yourself, that takes time. It really does. I think it's totally normal for that to take time. And to forgive yourself, to let yourself off the hook for that. It is not a failure. Keep coming back to the body. And on Expect the Unexpected, we have Dance It Out. I love how physical this is. It's so good. Dance It Out. I can move emotions through my body by dancing. Whenever I start to feel built up energy or crankiness, I will play some music and move intuitively. I don't have to look a certain way. Simply move and feel as the stress at sorry, simply move and feel as the stress or heaviness begins to ease out of my body. I couldn't hardly even read because I was like so thinking about, I love that. I love to play music and kind of like let the music, it's energy, right? So it's like in the air, it like permeates my energy, and then the music energy itself will like move my body, kind of like a boat on the ocean waves. Like my body just kind of starts moving with the energy, and it is so fun, so fun. I don't do that nearly often enough. I'm definitely going to take that as a thing, because I have been feeling, well, I'm recording this March 29th, 2023, and I have been feeling a lot of like just really powerful energy in my system. There's a ton of planets in Aries right now. That fire energy is really exaggerated. So there's a lot of force, there's a lot of primal force and spark that's like wanting to be born and exist through us right now. So it would make sense if you are feeling more full than normal of energy, and like your normal routine of caring for your energy, maybe at this time of the year when we have all these personal planets moving through Aries, maybe it is a time where you do need just a little bit more exercise. You need a couple extra dance parties, like whatever it is. And I love how it says on here, let me come back to, I love how this is expect the unexpected and dance it out. And it says, I don't have to look a certain way. I don't have to look a certain way. Expect the unexpected. This is not a choreographed dance. And by that, I mean life. I mean, life is not a choreographed dance. It's a flow. We don't know what's coming. We don't know by the way it looks if it's successful or failing. Mostly because those things don't exist, but also because our intuition is leading us. Our intuition is guiding us through things that we need on our journey. You know, like there's a temptation in our culture to call bad experiences failures. And again, I'll come back to, there is no such thing as a failure. Like I think about on Dancing It Out, like, you know, if I kind of fall over and lose my balance, I like spin it out and like use it and like turn it into something. And that accident or that like misstep or I messed it up or whatever, it's like you can take that and spin it into the next thing. And now you're in a new place that you would not have landed in if it wasn't for that mistake. So there's absolutely room for that improvisation, to be able to play itself out. And that actually, that's really beautiful, and I think makes life worth living. I mean, knowing what's going to happen the whole time, that's boring in my opinion. I mean, I get where maybe that helps us to feel secure, but is that really the most important thing? I would argue that people who do make it to the pinnacle of security, they're now bored, they're adrenaline junkies, they're like diving off of cliffs because they absolutely know that exhilaration is worth so much more than security. And if you constantly know the plan, exhilaration, much like surprise, is completely impossible, off the table. So it really comes back to, what do you truly value? Which is a really big question to kind of throw in the mix at this point. But let's see what these cards have to tell us. These are the three that came out all together. Ooh, first up we have unlimited. I create my reality with the thoughts I think and things I focus on. I am unlimited in my ability to create a beautiful life full of good and love. I love that. What else do we have? Projecting. Rather than reacting and projecting my emotions onto others, I remember no one is to blame. No one is responsible for the emotions that I feel. When someone says or does something that brings up strong emotions within me, I have the choice in how I respond. That fits perfectly right there between failure and forgiveness. It's so easy and can, in the short term, possibly bring us some relief to blame other people for hurting us or doing things to us that they shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have talked to me like that. Like point the finger at them. It can be like a try to, take a quick, easy route to relief. But one, is that really their fault? This is saying that no one's responsible for the emotions that you feel. Not that you're responsible, not like you've done anything wrong for causing those emotions, but you are responsible for what you do next, how you handle it, how you respond or react to what just happened. So, finding the part that you are responsible for, which is the way we respond, and basically, kind of coming away from projecting onto other people. I think one of the best things that we can practice is slowing down inside of ourselves so that, when the trigger that moves fast through our body, like almost in an instant, our entire body can be full of this energy. That happens so fast, and it's so natural and easy to just get sucked away like a raging river into the reaction mode. And being able to catch the fact that I just got triggered half a second ago. I just got triggered, and now I am triggered. Now I am full of all of this energy. Now is not the time to offer my reaction, to offer my response. I don't want to respond from this place. I want to push pause on whatever's happening, and I want to go away, and I want to find some calm. I want to return to the body and find my calm, and I want to respond from that place. That place where I can see the bigger picture of what is most important to me to have come out of the situation, not just they hurt me, so I have to hurt them. To grow beyond projecting everything we feel onto other people, I think the best thing we can do is to slow down our inner world. And that's where mindfulness plays its part. That's where meditation plays its part. Journaling. There are so many different ways. Last night, for example, I was feeling really, really full of this energy that I was talking about. And like, I'm clenched, my jaw is clenching, my shoulders are really tight. My entire self just feels like it's shaking. Like I can't even breathe deeply because like my whole self is like shaking. And I went outside my house and just started walking down the dirt road that I live on. And instead of basically running, which is what felt like I needed to do based on how much energy was in me, I walked as slowly as I possibly could. And it didn't take very long before my breathing was as deep and slow as the movement I was having my body perform. So even just walking slow can bring the energy back down into a more centered and calm place. And again, from there, it was like my intuition opened up and all of these thoughts started coming to me that I was so tensed up that I couldn't receive them just before. So there are lots of ways to slow down in our inner world, and all of that slowing down absolutely does wonders for not projecting any of our emotions that come up onto other people. And last but not least, my own energy. I love being there for friends and family while staying true to myself. I don't let others' energy or mood affect my own. To help a friend in a hole, I don't need to jump in the hole with them. Simply reach out a hand. It is up to them to do the rest. Oh, I feel like I needed that. Um, I this comes back to like validation, I think. I'm not entirely sure how, but there's another podcast episode, not of mine, but from the Deja Blue podcast that I really want to link in the description for you guys, that talks about the need for validation. And one, how normal and natural it is, and how we've been programmed to kind of compare ourselves to others and to look to others to tell us that we're doing the right thing or that we've made the right decision. I'm in the middle of a very big life decision at this time, and I very much resonate with like needing other people to reflect to me that I'm doing it right. And so I think that the validation can be a bit of a leak out of our own energy. Like the need for validation, it sends us into the hole with the other person so that we can be near them, so they can reflect to us that we've done a good job. And that, again, it's a hole. It sucks you in, and now like they're low and you're low, and now because you're low, you're triggered, and the tendency is to want to project it back onto the other person, like, how dare you pull me into this hole? But they didn't. We went there, you know. And so being sovereign in our own energy, like it says, like, I don't let others' energy or mood affect my own. That is easier said than done. But if there was advice that I would give you about how to do that, it is this one. This morning ritual that really kind of encompasses all of the rest of this, but every morning connecting with yourself, every morning connecting with your own intuition. What do you know to be true? Not what is the consensus of the group? What does your partner think? What does your parent think? What feels true to you? What does your intuition say is the next step? And I think what I've found is that my intuition will often cause me to reach a hand out to someone else, will often want to help when I see that there's an opening that, you know, like I have a possibility of making a positive impact here by sharing my energy with the situation. But I definitely appreciate this reminder of, in order to actually help, in order to pull somebody out of the hole, you got to stay on the top. You need to stay up out of the hole so that you can pull them up with you, versus go get in the hole and hear about how they got there and how long they've been there and why it's so terrible there. Now you're both in the hole. So I personally appreciate all of these messages that have come through for us this morning. I hope you have as well. If you have, please hit the like button. That really helps my content. Also subscribe so that you don't miss any of these other morning messages. I could definitely see myself doing this again, but again, I'll be listening to my intuition for that right moment to connect with you all. Until next time, I do hope that you take such good care of the sweet star that you are, and so will I. Hello again. I thought we were done, but as soon as I got off here, you see I already blew out my candle. I was totally moving on. And no, there was one more card that needs to come out to close us off here, and it is a tarot card out of the Light Seers deck. I had moved my computer. And then I got that intuitive hit that said, like, hey, we're not done yet, and you need to get back over there and hook it all back up and do the things. And I was like, oh, but that's so much effort, I don't want to. And then it's like, didn't you just get done saying that, like, your intuition is telling you step by step by step? Just, yeah. Oh, Seven of Pentacles. This is one of my all-time favorite cards. And I feel like that's kind of rare, because this energy in shadow can represent impatience. Like, you just want to get there. You just want to, like, have the empire. And this card is about building the empire, and how, like, to actually have something, like you can see here, he's growing a tree. Maybe you can see if I would hold it in the right spot. He's growing a tree, and he's pouring his energy into it, and you see how much has grown on the surface compared to how much has taken form in the roots under the ground that you can't see. And the message I'm getting here is, you are farther ahead than you think you are, sweet star. It has been my pleasure and my honor and my privilege to deliver this message to you. Take good care.